Hello, everybody. Welcome to Echo Underground. I'm Shanique.
This is Mike.
And on this podcast, we talk about music, movies, and any other interesting topics. Today's episode is going to be about the new album by AWOLNATION called Here Comes the Runts. I guess I'll start off. I gave this album a B. It wasn't it wasn't a bad album, but there were some songs on this album that just wasn't for me. Uh, so the good parts about the album. I like the overall sound of the album. I thought every song sounded different, which is always a plus for me because I hate albums where every song sound the fucking same. Migos. Um
hmm
and I like variety on albums. So I was okay with that. I like the upbeat songs. I even like the mellow songs. Now, some of the songs for me, there are about like two or three songs that I thought were forgettable. One had no business be two of them had no business really being songs on their own, but we'll get into that. Um so yeah, I think this album's a solid B, and if for anyone asking who this band is, their most famous song I think is Sail. Like that's been played on the radio and movies and TV shows, so yeah. What do you think of this band, this album? Go.
It was a little interesting for me only because I was like, I don't really know anything else about AWOL Nation other than Sale. So I kind of figured I'd find some more similar sounds. Not quite, but at least I do know what their kind of thing, what their like thing is now. Like I didn't even go through the album that Sale came off of, so maybe that'd be worth a look. But it's kind of interesting to find out the kind of sound that they're capable of. Because at first I was like, I don't know what the hell these guys necessarily do, what their kind of niches. But they end up coming out with some favorites, all of which were vastly different from Sale itself. So I figured, sure. I guess this is kind of like their thing that they're going for. At least currently, 'cause I know like some albums can sound different with the times, but this one definitely I was like, okay, I kind of see what their current sound is. So this is definitely like a B minus for me. Like not my favorite thing in the world, but I do like the fact that I'm like learning more about them than I'm just assuming that all they do is make songs like Sale or heck they have a song that the one song that they have Sale has its own album with just remixes of itself. And I'm like, that's just how much of a big hit that one song is for you guys. But yeah,
Is it
interesting album.
is it really an album? Cause I know Spotify does these like weird things. I don't think you could
It
buy
might
that
it,
anywhere.
probably not, but the fact that I saw it there, I'm just gonna say that it exists at least.
Okay, okay. So my number three is Table for One. At first when it started, I was like, oh, this is a ballad, but it's not really a ballad, but kind of is. It's kind of like a weird gray area where it was like, I'ma sing real mellow, and then it was like, nah, we about to take it up. My favorite part of this song is the chorus. Like, it's the best part of the song, but the rest of the song works too. I like the build up to it. I like it feels like, even though let's be honest, most of the songs on this album feels like a rock song. To me, this
hmm
feels like a genuine rock ballad, and I really like it. He's missing his girl. He's like, I don't want you to leave, and now I'm at a table for one. It's low key a sad song. He don't sing it sad, but it's low key a sad song. And it caught my attention. And even though this first time hearing it, I was still trying to sing the words. So, Table for One is my number three. What do you think of Table for One?
I thought Table for One was cool, and I honestly thought so because looking at the title of the song after when it was like coming up, I was like, well, something happened. Like either someone died or someone broke up with you, one or two. And like Shanique said, it's girl is kind of calling it a day. So now he's stuck, at table for one. I like that the story it was actually incorporated there, and that it wasn't just like an obvious clickbait titles to say, hey, this thing happened. So like, it's kind of cool just following along with what happened there. Um, I enjoyed the song. I kind of realized that a lot of the somber stuff in this album is kind of the stuff I go for. But yeah, we'll get to the rest until you can see why.
Okay, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is actually gonna go to Handyman.
What?
I know it's a weird catchiness, and it's crazy. I compared my number 3 to my number 1. It's actually really weird too. But like, I gave this song my number 3 only because like the catchiness ended up growing on me. I had enough time to go through the album a couple of times since.
Yo, hold up. Finish your review of Handyman. Don't be trying
I'm not trying to be shady. Look at you feeling guilty already.
No, you already shaded me on fucking Twitter.
I was gonna say that. Oh, you saw that?
Yes, I did. Fucking asshole.
I thought you weren't even gonna pay attention. But I was gonna say only because I went to North Carolina and like I know I had the album done before that. And I was like, let me do it again. I only got like a 7-hour trip, so while I was just sitting there, I was like, let me just go over it again. No notes, no goal, no intentional review, and just like a raw ass listen. And I was like, okay, Handyman ended up being one of the ones that I did not really see at first, but definitely like had an acquired taste for me that kind of grew on me. So I can't really complain. It's my number 3.
Okay, let me tell you about Handyman. Handyman, one, the lyrics sound like a cheesy pickup line.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's like, I'm gonna be your handyman, girl. Like, this not like, I know it's supposed to be sweet, but it's not sweet to me. It just sounds like a line that you hear in like a 70s porn. Like, I don't. But it's the way it's saying is very sweet. And it's such a switch from Miracle Man. Miracle Man was like upbeat, and then you have Handyman, and he's like saying, "Oh, I'll be a handyman," and saying, nah." It was too cheesy for me, so I couldn't fuck with this song. But it is sung really well. I'll give it that. But other than the cheesiness was on a level that I could not appreciate. But I'm glad you like it. I still thought it was still one of the better songs on the album. So I'll give you that.
They had porn in the 70s?
That's a real question?
I don't know. Let's move on before we find out.
No, they had Playboy. Remember, like, when Playboy, all the girls had, like, the bush?
I guess. I wouldn't call it porn, but I guess.
No, they had porn movies and actual, like, porn magazines are still porn. Whether they're moving or not, it's still porn.
Sure. We're not gonna make that about this podcast right now.
Yo, he's always like, nah, I'm not gonna entertain the shenanigans.
No, it's not even that. I just don't want because I'm gonna have something to say about it. Then we gotta go down that rabbit hole. Then we ain't never gonna shut up about it. Then we go into talking about Playboy a lot more than AWOLNATION. I'm like, you know what? We gonna just leave it at that. I'm just shocked that Shanique knows more about porn than I do, but it's okay.
What do you mean? Everyone like.
See what I'm saying? We're still going.
No, because you're trying to shade me and make me look a certain type of way.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, you are. But it's okay. Just like you shade me on Twitter, you're going to shade me on this podcast. It's fine. He keeps attacking me.
I call her and her feelings on this Monday. I don't know what's going on.
I know what it is. Like, come on. Leave me alone, man. I'm trying to do the podcast. So anyway, my number 2, after I keep getting rudely interrupted by Michael, is Passion.
That's a pretty good one. You're right.
I like the guitar on it. I thought it was very catchy. The chord's really good. I like every time they go passion, and they kept like saying that part. I was like singing it. And whoever did the guitar on this album, on this song specifically, I fucks with it. That's all I gotta say. And it sounds like a very old school song too. So yeah, I definitely like this song, and I would listen to this one again. What do you think of Passion? Unless it's in your top 3.
It's not, but I'm glad you picked it out and called said that it had like an old school sound to it because it did kind of like sound like a previous era of rock was kind of in the song and in a lot of the other songs on this album as well. Because I was thinking to myself, yeah, this is kind of one of those for real. Like it kind of just takes you back to you know, like for me, I didn't listen to rock too much when I was young. I probably like heard it as a show tune or something like that. But like it does give me the vibe of like I'll even say 2 or 3 generations ago for that kind of rock sound.
Yeah.
Where like it had like a certain amount of grunge, certain amount of corniness, and I feel like there's like this weird gray area that this song kind of pushed with passion, especially kind of how catchy it is. So yeah, Passions are definitely one of the bigger ones too. I can definitely see being a seller for the album. It's actually a good fourth place too for if I had one.
Oh, I got an
So my
honorable mention. When we get to honorable mentions, I'll mention it. What's your number two?
my number two is actually gonna be a weird one here, and this one is just I know we just talked about all grunginess and old school. This one just pretty much all grunge. It's actually gonna be Here Come the Runts, the actual title of the album.
Here come the
And I was like,
runs.
to be honest, this song was a lot less about lyrics and more about the sound. Because the way Shanique just said about the guitar, I felt about this song. Because this song right here was pretty much just them showing off their sound, and like they made sure like an old school like raw practicing on your guitar, you know, rock in the bar kind of grungy sound. I just got that vibe from it, yo, and it was a pretty good song for me. Like pretty much they like I said before, it's mostly just the sound that they're focusing on, not lyrics. Don't come in here looking for any lyrics. Like yes, they do say "Here come the run" in the song.
Oh,
They do
I'm
say that,
sorry.
but like there's hardly much else other than that. And for some reason, it works on me. I don't know. It grew on me. Like I said, mostly because I gave it another listen, and it's kind of weird the perspective I kind of got from listening to this song outside of doing it for the podcast or anything like that. So yeah, that's Michael's honest number two.
Okay, and here come the runts. Was in my top three at one point, but it got knocked out by my number one. Uh, actually, by my number three spot. But one, the beat is amazing. It's a great intro to the album because it wakes you the hell up. Cause you'd be
Yeah,
like, oh, I'm gonna hear like Sell, and then it's like, here comes Run, dun-dun, and
right,
it's like straight up
right.
guitar. The musicians basically did their thing on this. It's like 80s kind of rock. The drummer was, and this song is like what you play when you're about to fight someone, or while you're fighting someone. It's
Yeah,
that type of like in the song, and I thought it was really good. I did like that song. Good choice. You're not gonna guess my number one, but bring it. Guess my number one.
no. If I guess your number one, I'm gonna tell you my number one. Let me just see which one I want to give it to here. Um, you mentioned Miracle Man. Is that one?
No,
I feel like you're about to
close.
see my number one. Go ahead though.
My number one is Sound Witness System.
Oh, it's crazy. That's gonna be my second guess if I didn't say Miracle Man. That's crazy.
And here's, you know, there's a couple things I like about Sound Witness System. I like the trend. It was perfectly placed after Passion. Because oddly, it like picked up the beat and did its own thing with it. And I thought that was cool. It was oddly a weird sequel to it because if you even listen to it, they're talking about passion and all that. I like the weird little rapping in it. I was like, this is like white rap. No, like what you hear like them
Yeah.
old school rock songs where they rap all weird. That's exactly what this is, and I appreciate it. Great beat. I like the guy who's rapping. I liked how he sounded on the beat too. The
Mhm.
lyrics though a little bit, lyrics are a little bit out there for me, but it fit the sound of the album, the song, the transition from Passion. So to me, this song had everything. It had the right placement, it had the right sound, and it was different and intriguing at the same time. Not different in a way I was turned off, like, NERD's album. Some of the songs just really turned me off. But this one, it drew me in. So yeah, that's my number one. What do you have to say about this?
I thought it was pretty good. Like it didn't like shock me out the water or anything, but I did think it was pretty good. It did at least it was pretty good enough to for me to think that it stood out. I was pretty taken in by the pacing of the song, considering like what Shanika said. The actual playback location of it on the album worked pretty well right next to Passion, and I was like, you know what? Okay, I'll give this song a solid B here if I was rating them individually, which I don't. But in comparison to everything else, I'm like, yeah, it did enough to stand up for me. It did enough to manage the pace of a song while still sounding good. And I agree with Shanika. Like it sounded different without sounding annoying. Like some song. I'm not gonna say the entire NERD album, but definitely some of the NERD album. No
Yeah,
shade, no shade.
no shade, no shade. I definitely agree. Let me guess. Your number one.
I have a really weird one.
Um, is it Jealous Buffoon?
No, I actually don't like that song.
The only other choice I can think of is Seven Sticks of Dynamite.
Yep, that's actually my number one.
Hey, second try.
Yeah, Seven Six of Dynamite was a pretty solid song. And I'm saying it's a weird one because like the actual pacing of this song is so weird compared to my other two, which have a bit more like grunge into them compared to this one. And like, oh man, how do I even go about describing this song? It's kind of like I got like a weird vibe that I got from AWOL Nation, where like you knew the song was rock, but like it takes such a break from rock in between in large chunks of the song that you think it's something else. But at the end of the day, it's like a merger of like rock and some other kind of genre in there. I'm not gonna call it a full on genre bender or anything like that, but like it was a good hybrid into like some kind of new sound that they were working on, similar to the NERD thing that we had going on before. Like NERD had two categories pretty much. Like it was either weird and different that worked, or weird and different that didn't work.
Yeah,
This
they
was
had
weird
too
and
many
different that
things going on.
right. And this is for me at least the weird and different that definitely worked and stood out. And I honestly thought it was gonna be like a harder rock sounding song that I ended up choosing for my number one. And then this is actually the one I ended up choosing. Like if they had like a R&B like spectrum with like rock on it somehow, like this one is definitely like them slowing their pace way down into something else and making a good sound out of it. So yeah, 7 6 of Dynamite, my favorite one.
Okay, Seven Sticks of Dynamite. I thought it was a decent song. I did like the ending, like the second half. I really did
Hmm.
like it. It for me, it takes a while to grow on you. Like you're like, whatever. But then you keep listening to it, and it's like, all right. And you know what? It's a very different tone from Jealous Buffoon. So it's like, oh, you switched it up on me. And that's another thing I liked about the album is the switch ups. This
Yeah, it
album
kept you on
doesn't
your
sound the
toes.
same all the way through, and I keep
Mm.
stressing that 'cause some artists need to learn that. Um, and so my honorable mention is going to be Miracle Man.
Okay.
For me, it sounds like very old school rock. Um, the guitar is really good in this song. The chords got stuck in my hair with the Miracle, Miracle Man, and then I like the little high notes he kept hitting every now and again. Um, there were parts of the song that remind me of Weezer. I don't know if people remember
Ah,
who
okay.
they
Yeah.
are. Yeah, but the way he sang it kind of reminded me of Weezer. Like Beverly Hills. We're all on drugs. That's
That's
a really good.
where I wanna be. Yep.
Yep, exactly. Or the other one, We're All on Drugs. If you listen to that, kind of gives you a feel of what I think of when I hear the song. But overall, for like, one thing about this album, the guitarist was the bomb. Like, he was literally the best part of a lot of the songs for me, and including Miracle Man. What do you what is your honorable mention, or do you want to talk about Miracle Man first?
I'll talk about Miracle Man. I don't really think I have an honorable mention for this one. Um, because I think at that point I'll just be reaching. I think everything else for me, outside the ones you chose to that I already talked about, everything else kind of got a solid okay for me. Like I think I might have done something like, with this song right here. I was actually more of a bigger fan of the chorus than I was for anything else.
Yeah.
'Cause Like, and I know, don't get me wrong, is that everything else in the song sounded okay, but I feel like the only standout for me was the chorus, because I was like, if I sing the song in my head right now, I'm probably only singing the miracle, miracle, miracle man, and I'm like, oh crap, where's the rest of the song? And there's nothing wrong with that, but I think because in my head, all my other songs, all your other songs actually have like pretty good reason to be standouts. That songs that banked on, well, in my opinion, their choruses didn't really do much of a job of having me remembering it later down the road. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Miracle Man, anyways.
All right,
Like,
and
like the chorus.
all right, and the next song we're gonna talk about is "Jealous Buffoon." Now, I thought it had a funky beat. It was a little bit catchy. It was such a tone switch from Handyman because Handyman was a little slow, a little bit more mellow, kind of being romantic, and then this just came in and he went to saying, "I'm your handyman and I'm jealous." Like,
Yeah.
Jealous Buffoon is basically like, I'm not used to this girl being into me. So every nigga that look at her, I'm like,
Hold up. Right.
hold up. Like, sit your
Right.
ass that way. Like, I'm not. He basically thinks he's dating a girl out of his league. So he's looking at every nigga sideways. And for such a interesting topic, it's very upbeat considering what he's saying.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a switch. But I'm used to that. Like, a good example is like, Where Did the Love Go? Like, it's an R&B song, and it sounds like something you would play in like during a like romantic moment with your significant other. But you should not play the song during that, because the song is about him getting cheated on by his girl.
Hmm.
But the way he sings it and the way the music is, it sounds, a little bit sexy. It's not a sexy song. I want you to listen to the lyrics. And that's basically what Jealous Buffoon is. You think it's upbeat and stuff, and he's like, nah, I don't trust some niggas around my girl. Like, I'm not used to it. She's too hot for me. I don't know what to do. I'm an idiot. And I was like, all right, cool, I guess.
Yeah. Right. I guess that's where we're at. Okay. Okay.
We about that life here. What made you not like this song? Because you mentioned you didn't like it before.
I'll give it one thing. It was interesting, and it's definitely one of them songs that um, it's important to read between the lines. Whereas, because you talked about a lot of it, but it's pretty much one of them things. Where it's like you can't just play the song because it sounded like like a romantic love type song, and then all of a sudden you realize it's because of this story going on where this guy is literally just being a jealous buffoon. I mean, like read the title, then you don't gotta read between the lines. But like if you're going into it all based on just the sound, you're not reading the title of the song, then keep your ears open. Um, this song I can't really place it, but there was just no resonation for me. I think I might have found AWOL Nation's niche for me anyway. Like the kind of sound that I did like from them was pretty consistent in the first bit. I think this is around the area where my attachment to the sound just started to fall off, or the attachment to the sound that they were going for started to fall off on the album too. So I was like, because I think it was weird enough. I think the last part of the album might have been my least favorite. But I think this is just where I'm not even gonna call it fatigue because I went to the song. I'm sorry, not the song, but the album. I think maybe I think let's just call it 3 times. Cause I know I had done shuffle for a minute. Yeah, so let's call it like 3 times. And I know when I did, Just Buffoon was just always one of them songs where it's like, okay, this is the song that I'm just gonna wait till it's over until my next song comes in. Not because I hated it, only because other things already at that point already were proven to stand out for me, and I wanted to know which songs I wanted to download. So there was that.
Okay. Um, Honestly, this next song is not really a song. It's 30 seconds, and it's over. But it's called "A Little Luck and a Couple of Dogs," I think.
Hmm.
Don't understand the title. Don't know what the point of the song is. Anything to say, Michael?
I'm surprised he even stopped on that. I was completely prepared to move past it, but yeah, I'm like it's a little poetic-y sounding little soundbite. I
Yeah.
wish I had more to talk about. It's only 30 seconds.
Well, I only reason I didn't skip because it wasn't labeled intro or interlude, so I'm like, all right, this is technically a song.
I
Last
put it
last
there by
30 seconds.
yeah. It's crazy. I put it as an interlude or some kind of like transition type of song by default because I'm like, I don't know what to call it. There's no chorus here, no hook, no verse, just a little soundbite of a poem. So sure, it's here, so I guess fairly enough. We should be saying something about it, but I ain't gonna say nothing about no 30-second song. Hell, my review is longer than the song itself, so no.
And it's funny. Short songs aren't always bad. I mean, hey, a minute, Kelly Clarkson.
A minute. I knew you was gonna say it. I was like, that's the best idea for one. Need a minute for me. Oh my god, I love it. Oh, Kelly, why are you so good?
I don't know, man. But next one, since we ready, would be My Molasses. Now, it's had a similar tone to me for Table for One. Obviously, without the strong chorus. But it's soothing. But I thought overall the song was a little bit boring. This is the part of the album for me. Besides the last song where I was just like, man, everything sounding a little bit like not really songs that I personally will enjoy. I don't think it's a bad song. I just think it's a little boring for my taste. What do you think
Mm-hmm.
of My Molasses?
I'm kind of right there too, because I think all the other ones like they had at least that one like thing about them that like drew me in, and I think this is the one that like it's not a bad song, but it's just like a solid ass okay. Like it doesn't do anything particularly well, but doesn't do anything particularly wrong. Like it's on the album, and I think it's probably worth being someone else's favorite song probably, but it's just a solid ass okay for me, which is not a bad thing. It's just everything did a pretty good job of having something special about it, but this one just like coast. Like you just give yourself like a solid ass C to pass college. This is kind of that song for me.
Dang. Okay.
As a friend of mine said in college, C's get degrees, and that's where this song comes in.
Damn. That's very true though. You can get a degree on a C.
Yeah,
Uh, Next one, Cannonball. This is another one where I was like, and like it was like
right.
there was nothing
Okay.
special about this song. It wasn't bad. The lead singer sounded good. The arrangement was fine, but it did nothing for me at all. I could fall asleep to Cannonball, and that's all I'm gonna say about it.
Like in a good way, like is it putting you to sleep, or is it like the sound of it was soothing or something like that?
The
Cause
sound is soothing. It doesn't put me to
oh,
sleep.
okay. I just wanted to make sure I got the right context out of that review.
What do you think of Cannonball?
I thought the same thing because it's right here where I started to realize some consistency with songs that were like just okay. Cannonball was alright, solid ass okay. It's pretty much the same review as my last song, so I don't want to drag that one out for anybody.
Look, and then the next one is Tall Tall Tale, and I had the same review. I was like, it's okay. Um, it's decent. Again, the lead singer sounds a little. One thing I also want to give props to them. Their lead singer had a habit of changing his voice on each song. And so I did like that aspect. I thought his voice sounded very good on there. I liked the instrumental parts, but it's kind of forgettable. If I'm being honest, I think these last three didn't even need to be on this album. But that's just me.
I would agree with you actually, only because I'm like, normally artists do this weird thing like it's me, me and my strong finishes. They put some like at least some gems at the very back to like give a lasting impression for the album, and this is kind of one of those things where it's like a roller coaster ride. It's only fun for like, the first couple seconds, and then the last bunch is like you going just straight in a straight flat line back to where you began, and I'm like, oh, that kind of sucks because all my fun was already had. Let's call it like 10 minutes ago before these songs came on, and now I'm just like, just getting hit with all this, you know, regular ass like it's just like songs. Like they're not good songs, they're not bad songs, they're just songs. That's kind of where my B minus is coming from. Mainly this last part here, and like some of the other songs that just didn't have that too much to like be special. Like everything else I'd find special, and everything in Shanique's top and my top, except for maybe Just Buffoon, which was her honorable mention. Everything
No,
else,
it's not. My honorable mention was Miracle Man. Get your facts straight.
oh, that's true. That's true too. And well, Miracle Man in a sense too, only because I was in there for the chorus. But I'm like, at least I had something going for it. You know, everything else didn't really have much. So yeah, there's that.
Okay, and then the next one, Buffoon. There's no lyrics to this song.
Yeah,
And here's how I know I wasn't really paying attention for a second. Because I'm listening to Tall Tall Tale. I'm chilling. I'm listening to it. And then more instrumentals coming on. I'm like, man, this is a long song. Nope.
yeah, yeah. I think
It's a
I got
different
caught with the same
song.
thing.
I
Yeah,
I thought I missed a song. I was like, this shit is supposed to have 14. We're number 13. And then I realized that the Buffoon is just an instrumental. That could be off too. I'm sorry. Like, I would cut literally from like 10 to 13. I would remove them completely from the album. But again, that's just me. This album will be cut down to 9 songs and keep it pushing. Um, I positives about the song with air quotes. Um, it very good instruments. Whoever plays instruments in the song, you sound really good. I don't know why. I don't know why it's called Jealous. I don't know why it's called a buffoon because I can't tell from the notes that are being played.
true story.
It's decent ish if you like instrumentals. I've never been a fan of just straight up instrumentals unless it's like, mind blowing. Otherwise, I'm like, eh. I do like jazz, but not with this. This is this is okay. I could live without ever hearing this again. What about you? What do you think of the buffoon?
Okay, the regular, not just Buffoon. It's crazy. I actually did not. The transition between the songs was so smooth that I thought it was all one song, and I'll definitely give them kudos for making that transition so freaking smooth. Because I was like, dang, this is like a long ass tail into a song. And granted, you know, even though I'm throwing shade at it, I think that's actually one of its best qualities. The fact that like it blended in so well to this previous song. I was thinking it's gonna end up giving me a certain vibe, like Here Come the Runs, where it's like it's mostly just sound that they're gonna work on. Even though Here Come the Runs had like minimalistic lyrics, it still existed. This one kind of was like, nah, dog, we don't need it. But I kind of still was hoping out that it was gonna at least pull me in the same way Here Come the Runs pulled me in, and it didn't end up doing that. But I will give one thing though, it didn't necessarily as stand if we're like grading it on just sound alone without adding lyrics. I will say it sounds like rock. It sounds pretty good still, but I feel like I mean this might just be a bias between how I rate songs. If you're gonna be the last of an album, I say give me something that leaves an impression. There was no impression being left by just the instruments here. I wish it was somewhere else in the album, then something else get put in the last spot, but it wasn't. But
It's not the
yeah,
last song.
not the last. Sorry, not the last song, but towards the last song. Should I say? Especially because it's a song tacked on to a song, prior to it. That's my real thing. Yeah.
I don't even think it's tacked on. I just think it's so smooth. It feels like it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, the way I was listening to it and the transition was so smooth that I didn't realize it was a separate song. That's why I'm saying it's tacked on, because in my head it's still just one song, just with the last part long as hell. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, Mike could create a new song, Tall Tall Tale Buffoon. That's
Yep.
basically what he
Tall,
did.
tall buffoon.
Basically. Alright, and then the final song of the album is called Stop the Train. What type of metal shit was this? Because it
Yeah.
threw me off. Because nothing on the album sounded like this. And
I
so I was like, oh, all of a sudden they switched their complete style. And they're like, stop the train. And I'm like, all right, the train is stopped. You caught my
Alright,
attention.
you gonna
Relax.
shout like that? Fine, I'll stop the dang train.
But I did like it though. I don't know, like, I'm still a little hesitant on metal because I don't know if I can listen to that shit for like 14 songs. But I did like Stop the Train, and I thought it was a very interesting way to close the album, to be honest. Because here's my thing. I don't understand what the title. I don't. The one thing I also gives me like a made me lower the grade is I don't understand the theme of the album. Maybe it's me. I feel like a lot of things are going on in this album, and then especially with Stop the Train, I'm like, man, I'm not even sure what this song's really about. I know the train's probably a metaphor for something, but I didn't catch it. Uh, I did thought it sounded good, and I thought the voice sounded good. And for a song where it's like a lot of screaming, it sounded really good too. So I have no complaints about the overall sound of it. And compared to like the last four above it, it's a really good song. And I did like, oddly enough, I liked that it ended the album, but I thought it was a not a usual choice to end an album. What do you think of Stop the Train?
All right, I will come out and admit that I did forget that this was the last song. You were correct. In my head, I did still think that the last one was the last song. I am starting to get my deja vu from the song now, and I apologize only because like I did have the freaking album on shuffle after my last few rounds on it. I forgot about this one, so I apologize. And I'll take back one of my previous comments. This is one of those things where it's like it did leave an impression. Granted, the sound wasn't for me. It did leave an impression only because, like what Shanique said, it was brand new. I don't mind metal because my usual time for listening to metal is while I'm driving. But when I do that, I drive a little irresponsibly. So like if I listen to even like my white girl music or my metal, for some reason those two like genres have the same, not even
White girl
genres,
music
but a
is
little bit through
not a
sounds.
genre.
I know. I just said that my brother like those aren't even genres, but I like those two like like the super poppy sounds and the heavy metal sound for some reason give me Leadfoot syndrome, where like I can't get off the gas. And that's kind of my normal place to listen to metal, and I actually wouldn't mind listening to it like that. But if I'm like casually listening to my music, I probably wouldn't like just throw this on. Maybe if I'm in the gym trying to like get some adrenaline flowing, sure, I'd do that. You know, tack on an extra 100 pounds, lift that up. But
Okay, okay.
outside, outside of like certain scenarios, I probably won't be as casually listening to the song. But I will say that it had its place in the album only because I figured in a streak of songs that didn't stand out, this one at least stood out by being very like bar rock and roll grungy. Like I know I keep coming back to that description right there, but that's really the best one I have. Just dudes who like practicing either in like the garage or a bar or like doing a little gig at a bar. And this is kind of the sound I feel it was would actually like be present for that kind of scenario.
Yeah, I definitely feel you. It was just such a switch, and then the album was over, and I was like, all right, I guess that's what we doing here. Um, Closing remarks on the album. I say check it out. You know, if you're a fan of the band, support the band. You might find a song you like. If you're, you know, if you want to just check them out for the first time, maybe not start with this album, but I still think there's at least one song that you will like and that you would want to listen to again. So overall, if listen to it or skip it or buy it, I say stream it. I wouldn't buy this, but I would at least stream it to listen to it. That's my verdict. I don't think this album deserves a complete like skip it like certain albums we listened to this year, but and probably will listen to because Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang. No, I'm playing. We like
Well, that's gonna be a solo review.
yo, hey, you're not supposed to run out on me on reviews.
I will for that one. I'll tell you that much.
He trying to hate on Little Pump, man, and Little
I got
Yachty.
nothing to hate on. I have a grand total of 0 to hate on.
But yeah, it's not a complete pass for me. I think you should stream it and maybe buy a couple songs off it, but I don't think the album as a whole is worth buying. That's just my opinion. What do you think?
I agree. I'm not really sold on the entire package of the song because me going through this album, and I think that's what you should do too. if Sail is the only song you know by AWOLNATION, I would suggest going through this album and finding out what the actual sound is. 'Cause I feel like that's kind of what this was really for me, just like a little journey of discovery. Because I was like, hey, you're the guy that made Sail, and then I couldn't really finish that thought because Sail was all I knew. But like, because Sail was just also an awesome song for me. It was like a great sound to it and everything. It's been used to freaking death, and it's probably still gonna be used in some in the future. So I was like, let me just find out what else these guys are good at. So I was kind of glad I went through it to see what the actual sound is. I'm glad to see that with their ranges, how creative they can be with their sounds. Like there are definitely a bunch of standouts on this album, and I definitely say someone to go find what they like. If you like the entire album, you're already like an AWOLNATION fan from before even Sale existed, then by all means, definitely give it a look. But from everyone on the outside looking in, just keep your ears open and your mind open as well. Because Sale is not Sale or any song that sound like Sale is not on this album. However, I feel like you will end up finding something you didn't expect to come to find actually. So there's probably still something in here for you. Have hope. It's not gonna be Sale, but there's still something for you.
Dang, that's like a little depressing. But
No, because I'm being real. Because really, what I came in, I'm looking for. Like, hey, you're the guy that made Sale. Maybe there's gonna be another song like Sale on it, which is kind of an irresponsible thing to say, because that means your sound didn't change. But I can gladly say that the sound actually did change in several ways. Like, there's a lot of unique sounds here. So, they'll find something that can not be Sale at least, like Michael came in irresponsibly looking for.
all right, all right. So guys, let us know what you guys think. You can tweet us at Echo U Podcast. You can find us on any social media site. For the most part, except Instagram. Eventually, when Michael, gets on it, we'll get an Instagram. And but Facebook, SoundCloud, iTunes, all podcasting apps for the most part, and they're all under Echo Underground Podcast. You can even email us at echoundergroundpodcast@gmail.com. And make sure you like, comment, follow, subscribe, share our podcast so people can get to know our names. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.
See ya.